learned about Paris Milan, and what she did, pulling up his tweets, really was uncalled for. I'm not understanding why black women keep shitting on the graves of black men. They wait until they're dead and then talk trash about them. Like, they're not very brave at all, and it's not all black women that do that. But what's happening and what I see is that there's too many of them that are acting like that. It's like they're rejoicing every time a black man dies. And there's two of them in your chat, Asia Graves and Miss T. They have been in there every single time you mention something in the in an article saying, you know, statistics about black women. Here we come. Black men too. Black men too. Oh, you guys like snow bunnies. Oh, you guys like snow bunnies. Like, grow up. I'm getting sick and tired of every time a black woman doesn't agree with something, they have to go for the jugular. It's uncalled for. And then you want to run around, we need to be protected. We need to be protected. Who is going to protect a female that sits up and collectively not only talks shit about them, not only talks trash about their men, but they come out and they say horrible things like delete all black boys, and then it's like, yay, let's rejoice, that was so funny, like that was great. Exactly, acting like children is disgusting. And then you expect for you talk like that, you trash these men, and then you want to turn around and ask for protection? Like, who do you think you are? You guys are not above reproach. A lot of black women, they're overweight. You know, they're mean as hell. They're so mean for no reason. Apparently, the kitty cats, they're not taking care of that either. And like you said, we're failing in all statistics. And you want to say that, oh, black women are the culture. Okay, well, then the community is dying. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for nothing. I'm the only girl out of 4 boys. I grew up with 2 parents. Me and my dad are probably as tight as a daughter and daddy can be. I have a son. So I'm not going to just keep sitting here and listening to these women trash our men and not say anything and not stand up. So for all the fellas in the chat, advocate, I'm going to stand up for you guys. I'm going to be loud about it. So if there's any ladies that don't like it, I don't give a crap whether or not you don't like it. You all have been talking loud enough. You've gotten all of us in a bind. They're starting to lump us all into one category. And we can scream as much as we want to. Oh, not all of us. No, it's not all of us. But we keep saying it, and it's falling on deaf ears because the fellas are tired. And I don't blame you for being tired. I mentioned earlier, like my dad's from Bermuda. You see, most people think that I'm Latina. They think I'm Dominican. I literally just lost a job. This lady would not hire me. This black lady would not hire me because she thought I was a Latina, and told me to my face this. And so black women have not been the nicest to me my entire life. I don't blame that on all black women. My best friend is black. I know that all black women are not like that, but but for black women, one black dude hurts them, all of a sudden all black men suck. All of a sudden, oh, black men are this, and they're not protecting, and they're not building, they're not leaders. I see the passport movement as black men being leaders. They're leading their butts someplace else and not dealing with the crap that they have to deal with back home. But I mean, think about that. You know how tired an entire group of men have to be to say, screw this, I'm grabbing my passport and I'm going to try and find somebody somewhere else? And you think that's okay? And then you keep talking? And you keep talking like you're not making that's not a good look at all. And then you want to talk trash about the passport bros because they're leaving. And it's like, hold up. My dad, like I said, my dad's from Bermuda, and I've been in Bermuda. I know what y'all do. I know what y'all do when you go to islands. I've heard it. I've seen it. They're disgusting. And they run up on younger men. My son is 12. He looks like he's 15. There are grown women that are staring in my son's face.
Ooh.
That is an issue and a problem that Black women don't want to bring up. They always want to drop that on the men. There is a really big problem going on here. There's a demographic of Black women that are just not, they're not going to make it because they don't want to try and make a change. But I think it might, even if they do want to make a change, I think it might be a little too late for them to find something proper. So I would much rather like to speak to the younger generation and get our hands on the young girls so we can be like, hey, the baby mama culture, that has backfired horribly. Not only has it splintered our community, but the adults that churn out of these households, the men and the women, are not doing very well. And we gotta stop that. Like, for her to go on there and trash that boy, he got the life kicked out of him. And for her to go back 10 years later and pull up his tweets, and then you want to plaster it all over the place. And then, like I said, and you got females like Asia Graves and Miss T in the comments, like, oh yeah, yay. Well, he said all this and the other thing about Black women. If you were killed, if you got shot, and I came on here and was like, I ask you for my language, that bitch deserved it. She said this, that, and the other thing about Black men. I hope her grandmama kicks the bucket. If I went on there and did all that, then I'd be an awful, terrible person.
Yeah.
So for you to co-sign any of that, that's disgusting. Like, that's disappointing. It's extremely disheartening to see what's going on and how ladies are carrying it. So if you don't care about Black men, you don't want to be with a Black man. Black men don't protect me. All this other stuff. Then go somewhere else. See how those white men treat you. They don't want you. They don't want you, and they will tell you they'll break you off. Everybody will break a Black woman off. They're not going to deny the sex, but they're not going to marry you. They're not going to put a ring on it. They're not going to have any kids with you on purpose.
Well,
so for her to do that, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But your channel, Dee Dee, I love me some Bella rings. Shout out to her.
Lots of Bella.
Crimson Cure, Chantel, all of them. I'm happy that your channels are up, because at least like women like me have some place to go and be able to speak and say something, and just to let our fellows know, like, nah, we don't all think like that. Nah, all of us are not going to say, I don't think like that, I'm not that type of female, and then not say nothing. I'm not part of the sisterhood. There is no sisterhood. Excuse for my language again, Miss Chardé. The first time some dick comes around the sisterhood, it's a wrap, and y'all know it. And you know it. The first time some penis comes around, it's gonna splinter. So the sisterhood thing, and to protect Black women, you're doing a horrible job with your little sisterhood and the protecting Black women. Horrible. And I'll land my plane with that.
No, you unpacked a lot there. The reason,
fire.
Right? No, I'm glad we're having these conversations, because, first of all, as a Black woman who loves Black women, has Black sisters, knows beautiful Black women, I do get disturbed seeing the different stuff online coming off as a representation of me. It's like, I don't identify with that. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't have hate for none of these women, but at the same time, it's like, if we don't speak up and share that, look, we're not all rocking with that misandrous, delete Black men, but then protect us Black men, like, rhetoric. We don't do that. Then these men are left to think that the loudest message is the true message. And that's, to me, I think, is where being silent and not sharing, not supporting those who are sharing your message, not you yourself, speaking up, that's where, again, the silence can become complicity. The silence can be like, okay, well, nobody's pushing back, so I guess they must all agree with it, So I always appreciate women coming on and sharing a different perspective, or just being like, look, we don't hate we don't see y'all as an enemy. We all got our own things to own. I'm all about that. I'm all about, people being accountable for themselves, dealing with their own self-hatred. Like, I think that's real. But I always find it so funny how Black women want to pretend like there's some pro-Black activist, and we just be blatantly self-hate, like blatant.